West, is it time for the government to be shut down if the White House and Congress can't agree in order?
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with just a step. Trust your hopes, not fears. Put your dreams up.
Shalom, shalom. I want to welcome you to the Black News Network. We don't need a bonfire nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. What we need is a forest fire. We need the storm. We need you to come deep from deep inside of you with the storm that we know you have. We don't need a summer breeze. We need a tornado. We don't need something that's small. We need something big, something like a tornado. We don't need a spring rain. We need a hurricane. We don't need these small epithets that we do. We need something big to happen in our community. We don't need the cow. We need the whole herd. I want to welcome you to the Black News Network, the real voice of Black U.S.A. I'm coming at you live from the desk of the Emissary, me, War Smith, with the news, broadcasting in a Black perspective. I do not own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. So the beginning of our story, I want to talk about the structural racism that we have experienced here in America. Now, we went through many different kinds of racism. We went through slavery. We beat that. We went through Jim Crow. We beat that too. Well, you know, we had our ups and downs. Some of our people died based on these things that America did to us. But we prevailed. We were resilient. We made it through. And here we are in 2023, still here. We made it through the black codes. We are now facing what they call structural racism, which is basically where the resources of America are being denied to certain people. And that certain people is us, Black people. We've been denied so many things. We've been denied. And even today, in June 4th, 2023, we are still being denied what's rightfully ours. But we've tried to follow the processes that they give us. We go, we fill out the application. We do just like everybody else. We ask them for this loan or ask them for this money. And the first thing in their mind, if I give this nigga money, he gonna be on the same level I'm on. I ain't giving him shit. They deny your loan applications. I bet you I can talk to 10 people that applied for a loan in any state in this union. And they will, and 9 out of 10 of those people will tell you that they were denied for some godforsaken reason, that they reached down in the damn bottom of the barrel and pulled up. Now, they control the money. This is structural racism we're talking about. When they control the money, we are at their beck and call if we need the money. Do you remember when the things that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, back when they had the Black Wall Street, they burned all that shit down. People had money back then. Now, if they burned that entire establishment, that entire community down to the ground, some of those people lost every single thing they had. And if you lost single thing you had, that includes the money you had in the bank. But you go back to the bank and say, I want to collect my money and I don't have any ID because it got burned up in the fire, and the bank tells you, you just lost that damn money then. It is so sad that the federal government sits back and watch America create these atrocities and this structural racism that plague our community. That's just on the money side. They deny us access to capital so we can build and do the things we do. But they want to play down our history. They don't want our history to be known. They don't want people to know that we exist. Anything Black people do in America is hidden from the world's view because we are not considered a race by white America. In this country of America, we're not considered a series of people or a race of people. We're considered less than that. White people treat dogs better than they do Black people. White people treat pigs better than they do Black people. This structural racism is heavyweight. They find a way to keep us from getting the things that we deserve. They find a way to keep us from having what's rightfully ours. They take our shit. And yet, what bothers me the most is that we continue to go to them to think that they are going to do for us as they would do for their own kind. Now, back in the 50s and 60s, we were pretty strong. Black folks wore a hat, they wore a suit, and they always had on shoes. They always wore shoes. You don't see nobody in no damn house shoes going out in public. You didn't see nobody in no damn pants hanging off their ass going out in public. We have lost our culture. And this is what I'm trying to do, is get us to reconnect our culture to present time. Because what we are doing right now is a goddamn disgrace. It's a disgrace to America. It's a disgrace to us as a people. We already have trouble being recognized as a people because we have no nationality. We can't get it. But then you go and add all this other bullshit to it that makes you look even worse than what you really are. You don't have to go out looking like shit just because you can. You can change that image of yourself. See, the government understands what it has done to you as a people, us as a people. The government systematically planned the destruction of the Black family. The government systematically planned the destruction of the Black man. You can think of major organizations. This is our history we're talking about. Major organizations that Black people set up over the years are no longer existing. The only ones that they allow to exist are the ones that they don't fear, are the ones that do not propose or pose a threat to the government. Now you look at the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were feeding their own. They were building something similar to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were building. The Black Panthers was doing that. They had built a society where they were feeding people They were clothing people. They were housing people. They were doing all these things for black people and black people only. It seems as though if we come out and start talking black, everybody got a problem with it. You can see 50 white people standing in a group over there, and nobody think twice about it. You put 10 black people in a group over there, and everybody look and say, well, what are they doing? Why all them black people in one place? You better call the police, because we're going to have to control this shit. This is what we have to contend with. America is afraid of black people, and they are afraid for good damn reasons, because they have done the shit that they have done to us and ignored the pleas for help and the pleas to get out of our goddamn way. They've ignored all this shit. The government, like I said, systematically brought black people down, the entire society. How did they do that? That's probably what you want to know. You saying I'm talking bullshit. I'm fixing to tell you how they did it. They made women demand things from black men that they knew they expected to get from, but the white man ensured that the black man couldn't get the things that the black women were asking for. Therefore, the government steps in and provide those things that the black women were asking the black men for, and the black men couldn't give to them because the white man was denying the black man the opportunity to get these things so they could give these things to the black women. And that's exactly what they did. Not only did they give it, I'm just saying using black, I'm talking black, but they did it with other people too, but more specifically, they did it with black people, and that is the topic of our discussion. That's why I'm telling you exactly what they did. They introduced welfare. Basically, we're gonna send someone over to your house, look at your house to make sure you don't have a man up in your house, and if there's no man in your house, we can give you Section 8. We can pay your rent for you. That's what the government did. They started paying the rent for the mother and the child. The mothers at home said, damn, all I gotta do is raise this child by myself and keep my man hidden from the white America. Because that's who did it, white America. If they'd always send white folks to your house and they look under your bed and your closet like they damn inspector general. White people had the authority to ask any black person, where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? They had the power to do it. But we submitted ourselves to that authority. Now it's time to take it back. It's time to stop allowing them to treat us like we're second-class citizens. Do not accept anything less than first-class treatment, first-class service. If you go to a restaurant and you're sitting there and they don't want to seat you when they're supposed to, raise some hell. You go to a restaurant and they not taking care of your table like they're taking care of the table across from you, raise some hell. Don't let them get away with it. Put their ass on blast on any situation, even on the job. When you went there, you were looking for a job. They introduced food stamps. They introduced WIC. It made me think that our black women were now married to the government to raise our children. So rather than the black man being part of our society, our children upbringing, now this only happens from, let's say, 79 to present or 85 to present. It ain't happened always. They fixed this shit. They systematically done it. And I don't know the whole story. I don't understand why the government feels that they have to keep us under wraps. They have to keep the black man separate from the black woman because they already know that we are descendants of the Canaanites, which are the chosen people by God, by Allah. We are the chosen one. Allah looks to us to lead this world back to where it's supposed to be. We're off kilter right now, especially here in America. America is such a devious and deadly country that we have to do something about it. And if we don't do something about it, we are going to go to hell in a handbasket like we're doing right now. We're living hell in a handbasket. We ask that every black person understand what's actually happening here. The government raised our children. The government denied a black man access to his house. They didn't want him in there because they wanted to deny black people, black families from becoming powerful. Because they know we got the potential. They know we are better than them. And the only way they do it is through politics. They are in the political realm of America, and most of the time, they are doing things to deny you your rightful inheritance. You should be doing better than what you are doing. And you can't do better because the federal government sees to it that you can't do better. Being that they raise our children, when our boys get grown, they come back with the police to claim our children. So the police target black boys, black young men, because the ideal is in the back of their mind, in the front of their mind, this boy belongs to the government because this boy was raised by the government with welfare, with food stamps, with housing, with Medicare or Medicaid. I don't know which one it is. The government stepped up to be the daddy, and that's what they did. They are the daddies now for black children because the black woman allowed the federal government to subsidize them with all these bullshit resources. And with these bullshit resources, you can never get out of poverty. You will never get out of poverty on welfare. They got it designed so you get just enough to make it through the month. You're living month to month for life. That is not living. That is surviving. They should do us better than that. And we're in that situation because we have accepted that situation and not put it to a test. We can change this system. Get off welfare, get out, find you something to do. Always be looking for employment. If you need to work, look for it. You can find it. There's something out there for everybody. And if you're a ditch digger, be the best ditch digger you can be. I want to read you something. And what I'm going to read you is about a virus. And this virus is something that exists in our community. And it's been in our community forever since slavery ended. This virus I'm going to talk about starts like this. You are not a man. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful, you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters. You murder our sons. You crack our spines. You stab us, and then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our own fault that we got stabbed. If you don't do it yourself, you stand by and act like there is nothing wrong and you did it yourself and you had somebody else did it. It's done because of you. And then you pray to your God. You pray to your God to silence the screams that we make, the shouts that we have. You want us to be quiet. You pray to God so we can be quiet. You go to your hangings on Saturday and you worship your God on Sunday. It is the only way you know how to be. It is the only way you know how to live. And the only way we can get rid of you is by creating another virus. Because your virus is indestructible. So we have to create another virus in this world to get rid of you. In other words, somebody worse than you. And that will be hard to do because you have broken the damn record with being a worse race of people on the planet of the earth. And then you sit back like you ain't did shit. You don't want our history told because our history tells the story about how bad you are. So how do we hide our history? Through critical race theory, through DeSantis saying that no African American studies can be done in state universities. You can't do quite a few things in America that's black. They don't want people to know that black people invented the stoplight, that black people invented, were the first people to do the heart transplant. They don't want people to know these things. Any history that black people have is hidden from the rest of the world. We have invented so many damn things that's not known by the rest of the world. Who knows that these sisters calculated the formula for the America to send a damn spaceship or rocket to the moon? That's what they say. Black women did the math. And they would not fly unless they had that black woman doing the math on the calculations to get back to Earth. We need the storm, y'all, to get back to our history that we have forgotten. The racial triangle is something that we have to take a look at. And the racial triangle is nothing more than how they take Asians and wedge them between us by taking away from the Black American and giving to the Asian American. It helps to keep the white American in power. See where it says superior and inferior? So they take away from Black America. They give to Asian America. And then they come on national TV and show you that, yeah, we're not racist. Look at what we've done for the Asians. We bring them up when they push us down. They use them as a wedge to show that they have done something good for another race, but it's not the Black people. And all this is done to keep the white people in power. And the Asians ain't got nothing to complain about because they are getting the benefits of something that we're suffering for. The more we ask for, the more they give the Asian. And anytime you see them giving Asians something, they're giving it to them because they will not be giving it to Black people. And don't think it's just the Republicans, it's the Democrats too. They just as damn sorry as the others. I want to show you something that that's off the subject today, but this is my great-great-great-grandmother. Take a look up in the top left-hand corner. Look at her date of birth, September 7, 1897. We call her Ain't Name. And I wanted you to see that because she was one of the first generations after slavery. That's how much history we have. And we cannot forget our history. We cannot forget the people who suffered back in that day to get where we are today. Ain't Name has a lot of descendants in Inverness, Mississippi. The next thing I want to tell you, since this is our news break, Juneteenth is about to come. Now, most of us may or may not know what Juneteenth is about, but I'm going to give you a brief history of what it really is. January 1st, 1863, I believe, slavery was ended. But it was ended everywhere except in Texas. Texas ignored the federal ruling that they had to release the slaves from the plantation. They didn't do it. They kept working for slaves here in Texas. It was on June 19th, 2.5 years later, 1865, when General Granger went to Galveston with the Union troops and made it known and made these white people let the black people go from these plantations. They had to come and force the white man to allow slaves to get away. Now, so 2.5 years, Texas earned money off the backs of blacks. 2.5 years, money off the backs of blacks when slavery had ended in 1863. So why is it that Texas has not paid restitution to those people, the descendants of those people that they kept into slavery for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation? We need to send a message. And the only way you're going to send a message to people in America is with a dollar bill. June 19th is a National Buy Black Day. June 19th is a National Buy Black Day. Do not spend your money at Walmart. Do not spend your money at Targets. Do not spend your money at Valero. Don't buy shit that ain't black. Cut the damn money. We spend $1.7 trillion in America every goddamn year. $1.7 trillion. What do you think that equates to? We spend $1 billion a month, over $1 billion a month in America. We cut that down to one day. That's so many millions of dollars that we have not allowed to fly from our community just like that, because our money leaves our community faster than any other culture in America. Don't spend your money at anything other than black on June 19th. If you want to buy something, buy it on the 18th or the 20th. But on the 19th, don't spend a dime at anything that ain't black. Let's let America know that our money do mean something and that you're going to have to pay attention to us. They do not want to pay attention to us. They want to ignore everything about black in America. That's why they're taking out your shit out of these schools. They're taking it away from our children. We have to open our own damn schools at home and train our own kids at home, because they are not getting the knowledge that they need to get. June 19th, don't spend a dollar at any place other than black. Like I said earlier, they're using Asians to show that they're not racist. They're doing things for Asians, and they're taking away from the black. They want to control all the resources. The new thing on the block after slavery, Jim Crow, Black Code, all that other stuff is structural racism. They control the resources. They control where you live. They control where you can build. They control where you can shop. They control what you can drive. They control where you can go. They control the money that you can borrow to build a black business. They're not gonna loan you money to build a black business. You gotta build that shit from the ground up. You gotta build it from your bootstraps up. That's what they say, because they are not going to give you the money to do it. But yet, here we are every damn Sunday and Monday morning, you see the church treasurer taking $500,000, $1 million to the white banks and putting it in those banks, and they're taking that same damn money and loaning it out to these developers who go back to that same damn neighborhood and buy the house that that woman who's been giving $50 to church every damn day, every damn Sunday. Now she's on the street living in an apartment or a group home or some transitional home, because your money was used to buy you out of your property, because you keep giving it to the church and the church keep putting it in the black bank. There used to be a black bank in San Antonio, by the way. Who knows what the hell happened, but there used to be a black bank in this city. If there's a black bank somewhere, wherever you are, let them steal your money instead of letting Bank of America do it. Give it to the black bank. Take all your shit out of Bank of America and put it in a black bank. You know Jonathan Majors? Jonathan Majors just starred in this movie called The Harder They Fall. He was the dude that they burned the cross in the top of his head in the center. Somebody accused him of rape, and instantly he was guilty, because the United States Army dropped him from his damn commercial, because he had just done a commercial to recruit people to the United States Army. And as soon as some lying-ass bitch go out there and say he raped her, or that said that he raped her, they dropped him. Before he had a chance to even say, I didn't do it. And then she come back 2 or 3 weeks later and say she lied. But the damage is done. Your credibility is already tarnished. You think the U.S. Army gonna give him that contract back? Hell to the no. That's how it is with black people in America. All these black people going to jail for bullshit, but yet the white folks do the same shit and they don't go to jail. Structural racism. It makes us less valuable, less important. It isolates us, and it keeps them in control of us. This structural racism is the new wave racism. It's a progressive type thing. Look how we go from slavery, now we're all the way up to structural racism. And you can bet your last damn dollar there's something gonna come after that. You know, I was following another story about what they do with these pedophiles that are priests. There's a place, they call it the sanctuary of sin. And they send pedophile priests there to go through therapy for raping boys, instead of sending a punk ass to jail. They should send them to jail. That is sad, but it's the truth. Now you have nuns being accused of screwing the priest, and so the priest, the head priest, got the audacity to confiscate the nun's phone, because I guess they were using the phone to text each other. It's some funny shit that these Catholics do. And if you Catholic, I apologize, but they full of shit. I'm just going to be straight up. Every time we work together to do something, we have that problem where they want to destroy us. Earlier in the topic, in our session, I was talking about the Black Panthers and how they would disseminate food to everybody. They hurry up and got rid of the Black Panthers. How can you just annihilate a group of people? And they annihilate anybody, anytime Black people work together, and becomes a threat to what the government is doing for everybody. They don't want competition, taking care of Black women. Let a group set up and start feeding and say, we're here specifically to feed Black women. The government's gonna take them out because they the daddy. They grooming our boys for their prison system. When they get grown, where do they go? They go to prison. They go to prison because they belong to the government already. When your mother had you, and then she signed that birth certificate, she turned you over to our federal government corporation. So you really, the mother raised you with the government subsidies, but the government owns that child. And they can come in and take that child when they get ready. Let them give any kind of reason for them to take your child. They will take your child. They got child protective services. They will send them to your house and they will take your child and give them to somebody else and don't know who the hell they is. Somebody that say, oh, I'll raise foster kids. They had the CORE, C-O-R-E, Congress of Racial Equality. Where the hell they at? They gone. They had the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Where are they? They gone. All these agencies that Black people created are gone because they were a threat to the federal government. What about SNCC, SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee? Ain't no such thing. They gone too. The only one that survived is the one that I haven't mentioned yet. And they survive because they are not a threat to the United States government. They are not a threat. And they are not a threat because they will never stand against the U.S. government or stand against anything that society has put out there. They're not going to do it. They won't even take a case for Black people being abused by a police officer. They will not take that case. They will not do anything that'll make the federal government look at them. They even got the audacity to issue a travel warning for the state of Florida, telling you as Blacks, don't go to Florida. Yes, I'm talking about the NAACP. It's not a threat to the federal government. Half the people today don't know what the hell that stands for. What is NAACP? The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That tells you right there that the federal government got their thumb on their damn neck. Because if anybody walk around and call somebody colored in 2023 need their ass whooped. Need to get slapped in the next week. In America, you got to realize where this country came from. There are Black monuments built into the fabric of America that were here when the little boat landed on Plymouth Rock. Black people were already here and established. Black people are everywhere. Why is it that nobody wants to believe that they were here? You have Black Chinese, you have black Koreans, you have black Mexicans, you got black people that were here before the white folks showed up. Nothing is discovered until they show up. Because we have no need to record who was the first one to land here on this damn rock until they started that shit. Everywhere they go, they create problems. Everywhere. Because they want to own every damn thing. And then they kill and kill men, women, and children to get these things. And then they act like they ain't done shit. They write laws to make them be in power. They used to take black and Indian kids off the reservations and put them in these damn boarding schools and cut their hair, make them put on shoes, put on the white folks' pants and shirts, and sit in class, and you better learn English, and you better not talk your native tongue. They want you to forget all that shit, everything you knew about being an American, Americans, I think that's what they call it, by being in this country. They don't want you to know that you were from this country. That's why they say they brought 6 million people from Africa. That's a goddamn lie. Ain't no 6 million people can come across that water. It takes 30 days. It'll take 45 years, 100 years to get 6 million people across that water. With the boats that they had only holding 50 people, you probably could get 100 in the belly of that boat. And it takes 30 days to come across the ocean on a boat like that. Ain't no damn way you brought that many people from Africa. They don't want you to know that you were already here. You were already here, and that makes you the Native American and the owner of this damn land. So if America lets you find out that you own the land before they got here, you can sue the government and get your land back. If you read the inscription on the Liberty Bell, what does it say? Leviticus 25:10. Look it up. Leviticus 25:10 will tell you that in 50 years, you are to be repossessed. The things that you were divested of, reunited to your families that you were taken away from as a freeman. That's what it tells you. Read Leviticus 25:10. They want to keep our land because the only way they can do that is to keep you in the dark about who you really are. You are the only people on the planet that does not have a nationality. Everybody else got a nationality. What is your nationality? You don't have one, so I ain't gonna even wait for that answer. Everybody know Ken Paxton, right? He's the attorney. He was the attorney general for the state of Texas. He just got impeached. And he got impeached for racketeering. That's pretty sad, but they've been trying to get rid of him for a long time. The trial is about to start, and his wife is on the damn committee to put him in jail. Ain't that some shit? We are so damn far from what's actually happening in this country. It's a goddamn shame. We are disconnected as a people. And we're disconnected because you can talk to 20 black people and 15 of them will tell you that, man, fuck that, I ain't voting. I don't want to be in that shit. I ain't no politician. That's our problem. We are disconnected from who's making the damn law. We don't have shit to do with what they do over there in the White House. Look at the Senate. 49 white people, 1 black. Ain't that a damn shame? We got to get into politics to change the shit, change the trajectory of this country with black people. Because if we don't get in it, we're going to stay an entity like cows in a damn pasture. They can do what the hell they want with us. It ain't shit we can do about it. You think the 14th Amendment gave you citizenship? The 14th Amendment was never ratified. It can only get up to about 20 votes when you have to have 38 states to agree to ratify an amendment to the Constitution. There was no amendment done for the 14th Amendment was never ratified, basically. So you ain't no damn citizen. You're free, but you ain't no citizen. You have to be a citizen of a nation for it to be your nation. You need a nationality, people. And if you don't believe me, do some research for your damn self. See where you'll find out what your nationality is. You ain't got one. You know, in Houston, like I said, they do what the hell they want with you. In Houston, the independent school district is probably 80% black. The state, Gregory Abbott, Department of Education, has taken over the entire school system in the state of Houston. In other words, there is no superintendent. The state runs the school system in Houston. Black people, homeschool your kids. The federal government has done nothing to right what has happened to us in this country. They sit back and like everything is hunky fucking dory, and it ain't. Look at what they did. Slavery. What have they done to fix that? Nothing. They act like it didn't exist. Now they want to hide the damn history. They want to hide it like they didn't do it. They killed us. They raped us. They murdered us. They hung us. They dismembered us. Now they act like they ain't did shit. That's how sad this shit is. When they started expanding to the West, they opened up this is after slavery. They opened up the Western area, the land with the Louisiana Purchase, and said, go stake out your land, and whatever you stake out is yours. But that did not apply to black people. Even though you were free, you couldn't go west and stake out shit. That was for the Germans, the Scots, all them damn people. That's why you got places like New Braunfels, Seguin, all these damn cities named after German, white people, shirts. All these places with these damn German names were places that were given to them by the federal government. Pennies on an acre. They have economically starved black people. They've starved us. We don't have land. They've taken what we had. We don't have land. We don't have businesses. We are totally dependent on the white man. Totally. We ain't got shit. Back to politics. D2, District 2 in San Antonio, there were two people that everybody had their eyes on running for the D2 councilman seat. That was Jalen Rodriguez Brown, or whatever his name is, against Patrick Jones, the black man. Jalen is half black. Jalen won. He's reseated. He was the incumbent. He was reseated into that position. Patrick Jones came in fourth. By him coming in fourth, that left second place and third place in between. Now, like I said, Jalen won, which he's half black, Mexican daddy, mama, I don't know which one. And second and third place were two Mexican women. The next black was Patrick Jones. He was number 4. So that tells you if Jalen hadn't won, a Mexican woman would have. No, that seat was specifically reserved 30, 40 years ago for black. It is gone. It will not be back unless we get black people back into politics. We cannot sit back and allow them to decide our future because they have made it hard for us as it is. Jordan Keenly, the boy who was choked to death on the subway, how can they give the white boy that choked him to death $1 million for his legal defense? They gave this white boy $1 million for the defense of him killing a black man on the subway. Does that tell you anything about the value of your life? Does all the black people dying in the street today tell you anything about the value of your life? It has no value. It has no value. You got that many people willing to give a killer all that damn money for his legal defense. When he choked that boy for 15 freaking minutes. Anybody you put a damn neck hole on for 15 minutes will not survive. The dumbest asshole know that. Lock this fucker up. Don't let him get away with it. In Allen, Texas, there was a shooting at the mall. The guy pulled up in his car, got out with his AR-15, and went to taking names. Shooting people. He had on a police outfit, and on his arm, he had tattooed RWDS. RWDS. Right Wing Death Squad. That's a racist organization out of Texas. In New York City, Abbott has sent 70,000 migrants to New York City. Now, there are so many migrants in New York City that they had to do something that's unheard of. They started kicking veterans out of hotels that were put in hotels by the VA. And the VA was paying the hotels $90 a head for each veteran that they housed in those hotels. These hotels kicked the veterans out on the street because the immigrants, New York was paying $190 for the immigrants. So the immigrants got the hotel room for $100. That is how America works, by the dollar bill. That is how you work, by the dollar bill. I've sit here for 52 minutes, almost 53 minutes, talking about what I feel about America. And what I really feel is that we are in denial as Americans about who and what we are with all of these fake ass systems that are in place. We're lost people. We got to get back to the basics. Quit believing in the bullshit that people are pushing down your damn throat. If the white man taught them that, then you need to change because you are disconnected with your ancestors. You need to reconnect with your ancestors. You are now what they were then. You are your ancestors. You are your ancestors. Anything that they made you learn, like the Christians, that they made you become, you need to let that shit go and go back to your original self. Right now, Black people in America are functioning in their lower selves. You have a higher self, but you can only function in your higher self if and only if you reconnect with your ancestors. Don't think all these people died and suffered for nothing. They didn't die and suffer for nothing. They made a way for us to be where we are today. We're still connected to them. And though you can't tell me that you don't feel it sometimes, that you are in a foreign land. You are. You're not a foreign land, but a foreign system. The system of America is what you got to change. And you can only change it one person at a time. You have to change the system. What America wants to do is to destroy a black man's ego. They want you to feel inadequate and act inadequate. Then they feel powerful. When you stand up for who you are and let them know that you're a man when you walk in the door and you're gonna be a man when you walk out the door, then they fear you. They're gonna get rid of your ass if you're hired there. They're not gonna keep you working for them when they fear you. America, white America, fears black men. That's why it's so damn hard for a black man to be successful in America. It's called a false equivalence. They think they are equivalent to us, but they're not. It's a false equivalent. You may not have much to say about what's going on in school today, but some of these schools are allowing drag people to teach their kids about life. You know, I want to give the LBG whatever community a shout out for this being that month for them. But I also want to say they have done in 20 years what black people have tried to do in a lifetime. Every fucking day, you're going to hear something about these gay people. Every day. There should be an end somewhere where sexuality should not be a topic of discussion on today's news, or on today's talk show, or on today's radio show. Get sick of hearing that shit every damn time I turn the radio on. I understand you're gay, be gay. You're still my friend if you're my friend. But I don't need to hear about your sexuality every goddamn day. That has been the most successful campaign ever in the history of America, is what these gay people have done. They're taking over. You got gay people in the White House now. You got gay people in the State House. You got gay people in the cities running shit. And that's fine. But keep your sexuality to your goddamn self. I don't need to know who you like and who you don't like. But they make it front and center. They make you know. If you must die to experience grace and heaven and loveliness, then what you waiting on? You're living the luxury now. If you woke up this morning and took a breath, thank your God for that. That's the life that you live. That's the better place that you live. When you wake up in the morning and get your shoes and socks on and go about your daily business, that is heaven. Because you could be dead and gone. And if you think you die, you're going to be in a better place, you need to wake the fuck up. Shalom, shalom. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black U.S.A. We're broadcasting the news from a Black perspective. I am your emissary, War Smith, And I want you to remember this. This is one of your people who died for no reason. This is one of your people who died for no reason. This is one of your people who died for no reason. Look in his eyes. This is one of your people who died for no reason. Unfreaking believable. This is one of your people who died for no reason. This is one of your people who died for no reason. Look in his eyes. This is one of your people who died for no reason. And these are people who died for no reason, just for the cause, just because. You think being black is easy? Or being a black male is easy? Switch over. You can take it in. You can take my place for a day or two. I'll just sleep. It's not easy. I want to thank you for joining me on the Black News Network. See me again. See the story again on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. We broadcast every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Thank you for watching the Black